Mayoral candidate Joanne Keune, thanks for giving me 5 minutes of your time. I'm going to set the stopwatch on 5 minutes. Let's have a chat.
Great, thank you very much, Wildy.
Straight into it. Why? Why do you want to be Townsville's next mayor?
Well, number one, there was nobody I would vote for. And number two, I received huge amount of pressure from my diverse community who indeed asked me to stand and encouraged me because I have been at this and shown my community service for the last 40 years in Townsville. And so I decided the time has come. And I was a little inspired indeed by some billboards I wasn't very happy to see in our city and some change that's definitely got to happen.
The thing that blew me away, you actually told me about it, I'd never delved into it when we chatted on the radio, was that you could just go in to the Electoral Commission, pay $250 and bang, get your name on the ballot. And that's the thing, an independent doesn't need to be vetted, but someone going through the party system does. So we've got 9 people all running under the independent banner for this election to be Mayor of Townsville, and yet no one's been vetted. So $250, bang, you could be our next mayor. What qualifications?
I feel highly qualified, primarily in my action and service commitment. But if we want to talk about education, I've actually just finished my master's and just discovered the last 2 years of work I got a distinction. So I'm very happy about that. That's a Master's of Education. So I'm going through registration as a teacher right now. I'm a lawyer admitted with the Supreme Court of Queensland, and I have a Bachelor of Arts degree. I've done urban planning with Griffith University. I've completed the affiliate directors course through the Australian Directors Program. So I feel very qualified with that. But I think that past education, it's truly about our experience, our impact and effectiveness, more so than necessarily just a university education.
Obviously, we've got some councillors that have been in there for a while now. How do you think they'd take to you if suddenly you were mayor and they had to, take your direction? How do you think that's going to work, that dynamic?
I'm very excited about that, and I look forward to working with the councillors. I think that the last 2 years has been very traumatic for them, and it's time to get that council back on track. I wear this little gold flying pig on my lapel. It was given to me by Bob Sewell at the Scripps Institute in the United States, where I lived and worked for 15 years, because the wonderful Port of Townsville Rotary Club, and I hail out to every service club out there, and if you're not in one, you should join one. But they sent me to the United States to complete, that's another degree I didn't mention, but anyway, a Master's of International Business and Marketing at Golden Gate University. But I was working on a fantastic 140-foot US Coast Guard buoy tender that I did all the legal applications to convert to an expedition vessel, and we wanted to take a major Scripps Institute vessel over for research around Hawaii and mapping of the oceans. And Bob said, there is no way that you can pull this off, Joanne, no way. And when we completed it 7 months later with 30 scientists on board the ship, he came to me and gave me this gold pig, and he said, you have made a pig fly. So I have been accused of that at many times during my career. So it's about facilitation, Wildy. It's about bringing diversity together, always compromise. So working with all the blocks in our city to compromise to get this city back on track.
And the most important things facing Townsville, that the must-dos if you got in?
Well, I really don't think it's spending more money on the Strand, quite frankly. We're flat out paying the $6 million budget to maintain it each year. So whoever's suggesting that, I don't think understands the priorities in this city, and maybe should do a bit of a walk down Flinders East and West, because I grew up in that little street and partied in it as a teenager, and it's disgusting. I recently had Henry and Margaret Reynolds that I hosted and took from a meeting to dinner, the Japanese dinner restaurant and it was embarrassing to walk through that mall. I realise now, finally, there's a little bit of action. Great move by the Cowboys Club to indeed buy some parking, critical. But there's a lot more that we can do there. But I think Truly, Wildy, even on my run this morning, talking to two old guys fishing, it's really time to get back to basics. We're driving through potholes, our lights seem not synchronised, sewerage over at Magnetic Island is in people's backyards, the Suning Bridge has been out for a year. What's happened to the pipeline? Indeed, 6 years sitting there and no progression. We've got core roads, rates and rubbish issues to take care of.
Joanne Keune, thanks for spending 5 minutes with me, and all the best on becoming Townsville's next mayor.
Thank you very much, Wildy. Thank you.